Let's move on to Old Trafford. So a bit of attention back on Manchester United, losing against Copenhagen 4-3 in the Champions League. Marcus Rashford getting sent off. More kind of pressure and headlines on Erik ten Hag. So this was a game that I set out. My note before the game was, United can't lose this game. It's one of those days where if United lose this game, it's all on. They didn't lose the game. They scored through Lindelof from a corner kick. They won against Luton 1-0. Good win, not a great performance. Is that where we are with Liverpool now, or do standards, or should standards maybe be higher?
The standards at Manchester United should always be higher. I just think there's a real lack of belief, whether it's in each other as players, whether it's in the system that they're playing. I think it's very interesting though. They still sixth, or sixth or seventh in the league at the moment. 3 points behind fourth,
or they were 3 points behind fourth. They're now sixth in the table on 21 points. Fifth is Villa on 25 points, and fourth is Tottenham on 26 points. So it's
not a terrible position, is it? And we're all looking at them. 4 points.
We're thinking like they're 16th or something. Which they're not.
But I think a lot of it has come from the Carling Cup defeat to Newcastle at home, 3-0, and then that was followed. That was after the 3-0 against Manchester City at home. So we're looking at that over aggregate, saying they've been beat 6-0 at home over two games. And you look at that and go, it's not great. But then the Champions League form hasn't been great. But in the Premier League, they've gone about the business okay-ish. They're in a position now where you go, if you go on a run and we start to click a little bit, we start to believe in ourselves and believe in each other, we could actually sort of mount a challenge to get in that top four.
It can come with wins, can't it? It's amazing how, and sometimes our listeners and viewers might not understand how much a win changes the dressing room and the training ground and how you work. And sometimes you haven't played well, and you kind of know you haven't played well. But as you say, you look at the table and you go, oh, we're sixth. We're not playing well. Listen, if we kick into gear a little bit, we can go kick on again. And I suppose that's what Erik ten Hag is continually pushing out, the narrative that we're not as bad as you lot keep saying we are.
No, I think the big thing is that we're all and rightly so, I think anyway, in my opinion, is that we all look for an identity of a team, don't we? So we want to see how a team plays and what their style is. When I look at Manchester City, even Chelsea today, I can see what they're trying to do, Arsenal, Liverpool. When I watch Aston Villa, we get exactly what the ideas are on the pitch and what they're trying to achieve. When I watch Manchester United, it's just reactive football. And that's the issue, whereas like Manchester United, with the money they've spent, shouldn't be a team who sits deep and counter-attacks. I understand when the chips are really low and you've probably sold a few players or they've lost a manager and a new manager comes in. But Ten Hag's had what, sort of a year and a half, nearly a year and a half in charge now.
Choice of a number of players.
So have they progressed? I think they've regressed. I don't think they've got any better.
It's interesting. I looked at the bench this weekend, and then you've got Varane, who you talked about winners and talking to winners as a winner, was on the bench. There was no Johnny Evans, but it was Maguire and Lindelof, so he's not getting in ahead of Maguire and Lindelof. Amrabat was one they've chased and talked about. He was sitting on the bench. And Mason Mount, who you're going to spend a big lump of money on, and then you're playing Luton at home, and Mason Mount's on the bench. Those are the things that I scratch my head and say, what's the plan here? What's the joined up thinking? Why on these days is Mason Mount not in your first 11 if he's fit?
Well, that's a big question, isn't it? Is it a case of Mason Mount's just not playing well? Is it that they've seen something else in him and it's not quite right what they've seen and they don't believe he's the player that they thought he was? But to put all your money into him with a year remaining on his contract, it was over £55 million, so what's that, $65 million ish? You look at that and say that's a big gamble to take on someone in the last year of his contract, plus the contract he will be on as well, wages wise, will be huge. So it was a big gamble. I think there's something more with Varane. You see the clips during the week and it looked very frosty and hostile between him and Ten Hag and his backroom staff. It's almost like Varane's looking very frustrated and isn't happy with the situation. And would you be? I don't think you would be. I think you'll feel every pro backs themselves to play.
You want to play, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you Varane at this stage of his career, he's going to want to play games. And I suppose we've got Marcus Rashford, who 17 goals last season, 30 all comps, looks a shadow of that player. And Højlund, who, it's amazing, who looks confident playing in Champions League and has got his 5 goals, just can't find a bit of luck, find the right contact to get a goal in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Had a couple of chances again against Luton and wasn't able to find the back of the net.
But that one was a really interesting signing to me.
Højlund.
Yeah, because if I look at Højlund, I like him as a player. I really
think
do.
Potential. I think could be a top player.
But what does he feed off? Crosses. So you've got Garnacho on one side who wants to chop, weave in and out.
Yeah.
And you think, does he really deliver quality balls into the box?
Yeah, we wondered if that's why he played Rashford
on the right, didn't
Maybe
he?
to put a cross in, and he actually did, didn't he? And,
he just missed it at the back post ever so slightly. But you're looking at wingers, when Rashford plays on that left, he's not going to be one who's going to get it out of his feet and really whip a great ball into the box, is he?
No, that's
so
not easy.
If that's not going to happen, well, get to the byline, set it back for your fullbacks, and then put quality into the box. Yeah. If Højlund must be wondering himself, like, what have I joined here? Yeah, I want service. I want balls in the box. I want to go and attack balls and win headers and things like that. And I think he's got that. Well, he's definitely got that in his game because we've seen it. So you've got to play to your striker's strengths.
Absolutely. So a little bit of work more for Ten Hag to do, but a win is a win. 3 points are 3 points, and it's at 6th in the table.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.